Wait for a few bodies to come in the room. But let me know where you are tuning in from. Give me a quick hello in the comments. And I'm going to be answering some of your questions today, hopefully as well. But usually what happens on a Thursday is I will do like it's called EFTV. And I've been running this for a few weeks now, normally doing pre-recorded things. So this is my first live. And I haven't done this very often. But I've also had quite a few technical issues today as well. And I was hoping to bring you some musical aids for the chat to make it a little bit more fun and interactive. But I've only really managed to get my camera and microphone working. So hopefully we can still have a bit of fun having a chat. And I'm going to fill you in on a few updates too. So if you have, of course, any questions that you'd like me to answer while we are live, then I will do my best to answer them. So first of all, I would love to welcome our newest followers. So we've had a really quick influx of nearly sort of 200 followers in the last few days. So thank you so much for coming aboard. And if you're not already following us, please do click that button, as it really helps us out, and it makes sure that you don't miss any news or updates. Last count I saw, I think we need 29 follows to get to 1,000. So if you're not following us already, I would really appreciate it if you could do that for us. We also have our fan group that I've recently made public. It seems to be something that a lot of bands are doing, and I really feel like it's a really positive environment for sort of building a community around our music, but also I really want it to be a hub for people to kind of share their favorite music, or for you guys, it's basically for you guys to connect over your favorite music. If you are thinking about coming to one of our gigs, but you don't want to go on your own, it might be somewhere where you can find someone to buddy up with, for example, and share photos if you take them at our gig, or just share other events as well. So that's basically something that I'd really like for you guys to get involved with, and that is called Emily Francis Trio Fan Zone, and you can find that via our page, but let me know if you can't, and I will link you to it. So to start off with some of our bulletins, we have had to postpone our Harwich show, which was on the 18th of July, after discussions with the promoter. But hopefully that will be in the autumn or potentially early next year. So we're still in talks surrounding that, but apologies if you were planning on coming to that one. So that means that our only show this summer is going to be on the 20th of July at Pizza Express in Soho. And I'm really excited about this because it's somewhere that I've always wanted to play. It's such a great vibe in that venue. I've seen so many shows in there, so I'm really excited about playing at Pizza Express, and I really want to sell it out. I would love to sell it out. So if you've been thinking about it and you've not got your tickets yet, please do grab those tickets. It would be so nice to see you there. It's a great atmosphere, as I said, and I'm just going to get the link for those tickets, and I'm going to stick them in the comments right now. Oh no. Tell you what, I told you I was having technical difficulties. Why are you trying to tell me? It's trying to sort of link me to another page. Don't do that. Right, so there's the link to our gig. Please get your tickets and come and join us, because it's going to be a really, really fun night. It'll be, if we can fill it, it'll just feel like super intimate and amazing. So that is going to be wicked. So excited about that. We have also just announced a new gig that's happening in September. On the 28th of September, it's in Guildford. And this is like a mini festival that we've called Jazz Funk Confusion Fest. Jazz Funk Confusion Fest. It's in partnership between us and our friends Stefan Rettenbacher's Funkestra and an amazing guitarist called Chris Booth. So hopefully you would have heard of them. We actually all did a collaborative video. So Stefan runs this amazing, I guess you could call it channel or collective, called the Masterlink Sessions. And we did a performance which is available to find on YouTube and various other platforms or Spotify and stuff. And it's called No Future Blues. And it's one of Chris's original tunes. And it's so cool. It's just so raw and gnarly, and his playing on it is outstanding, and I'm doing some kind of sort of Adam Holtzman kind of style Wurlitzer playing on it and a bit of synth stuff on there as well. So yeah, that was really, really fun to do, but we are doing this festival in Guildford as well, and I think that's just going to be super fun. So if that's near to you, or if it isn't, do the drive. But details are available for that, and I'm going to be plugging that in the coming weeks as well. So that's it on the gig front for now. So 20th of July, Pizza Express Soho, and then 28th of September, Guildford. Oh, sorry, I didn't say it's at the Star Inn in Guildford. So yeah, hopefully I will see you at one of those shows. And moving on to you guys, so as I said earlier, if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to put them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. But moving on to you guys, so as I said earlier, we've had an amazing influx of followers and I'm so thrilled about that. And the comments that we've been receiving on the posts have been so complimentary and so amazing. And for a little while, I was honestly thinking that our music just wasn't going to crack the algorithm. We play quite niche jazz prog or prog jazz, and it's been a real struggle actually to sort of figure out a way to get our music to the masses in that way. We've been around for quite a long time, so for people that aren't familiar with us prior to now, we have been around for about 10 years at least, and just that we've done really well with like press. We've played amazing shows, but it's just that kind of social media following that we haven't been able to crack yet. So but we have finally started to crack the system. And I want to give a little shout out to Guru Lee, who I pinched a couple of real ideas from. But he has done an amazing job of generating an online following. And when I first saw his reels, I was like, yes, this is it. What a legend. And he also has thousands of listeners on Spotify as well. So if you want to check out his music, it's Guru, Gu-RU. And yeah, sounds amazing, plays amazing, so do check out his stuff. I expect a lot of you have seen his videos already. But going back to our followers, I wanted to read out a couple of the comments that we received. So first of all, a lot of people who have been discovering our music recently, they've been comparing us to Genesis. And I've had several comments on Facebook and YouTube, just saying, oh, this is so Tony Banks, or Tony Banks would be proud, which is like the highest compliment anyone can receive because he's amazing. But there was one comment in particular that really touched me, and it was a discussion that I was having with Matthew D'Alessandro. Hopefully I've pronounced that okay. And he mentioned that we sounded quite like Genesis, and then another gentleman, Sebastian Ruger, replied to that, and he said that he thought the same, and he said, I'm in tears emotionally because it hit the cinema show button in an instant. just added the album on Apple Music and I'm hooked, which was such a lovely thing for me to read. But what was surreal about that comment was literally before I posted the reel where that comment came from, I was actually thinking maybe I should do a video of the Cinema Show synth solo, which is really weird and a really weird coincidence. But yeah, it's funny, the process or the creative process when you're creating your music and composing, because when I was actually writing Lydian Child and coming up with the sounds and things like that, I wasn't necessarily thinking in that way. I wasn't thinking I want to emulate Tony Banks, but all I was thinking was I need something that's going to cut through the sort of washy pad that I was using for the main chords and harmony. So that was basically all that was going through my head. And there's a video on YouTube as well where I explain, it's called The Making of Lydian Child, I think. And I sort of explain the process of writing that particular tune. So I did a bit of research, and the synth that he's using on the Cinema Show, according to Wikipedia, is the ARP Pro Soloist. And it has that kind of classic early kind of synth organ kind of reedy sound to it. And I'm playing my Prophet 6, which is a much more modern synthesizer. It is done still analog for those wondering. And but the patch that I'm using, it definitely has that kind of reedy sort of quality to it. So yeah, I mean, kudos, because you guys have amazing ears, and I'm just so happy that you are as nerdy as I am, that you can kind of like pick up on those little details. And I'm thrilled to bits that I've created something that sounds a bit like Tony Banks. And actually, I sort of googled a few videos and had a listen to that synth, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, you hear these people playing it, and it's like that is the sound. And also going back to Matthew, who mentioned as well that it sounded like his ARP Pro DGX, but that makes so much sense, right? Because if it's an ARP synth, then it's gonna have the same kind of oscillator DNA. And that's always baffled me as well, that synthesizers or different synth brands just can have their own sonic identity, you know, like a Fender Strat versus like, I don't know, a Telecaster will have its own kind of sonic identity as well. It's pretty nuts that circuit boards can do that too. So another comparison that we've had a lot of is Return to Forever, and that was something that Rich Ellis brought up when he was asking about our influences, and he said, I thought I heard a Return to Forever vibe in your keyboard sounds. Maybe I'm imagining that one because I didn't mention Return to Forever as an influence. Now, you're not the only one that's mentioned this. In fact, Roger Marsh from Progzilla Radio also made this comparison too. And what's funny about this is that until recently, embarrassingly, I didn't know that Return to Forever were like a separate band. I always thought that it was that people were referencing Chick Corea's album Return to Forever, if that makes sense. So, which ironically I absolutely love. And one of my favorite ballads to play is Crystal Silence. And just harmonically, it's absolutely stunning. And if you listen to our track Redshift, which is on our first album, The Absent, it has a bit of that kind of character about it. So yeah, if you're into that kind of sound and style, then that album definitely draws on perhaps that sort of soft Rhodes kind of influence. A bit more soulful, a bit more funky in places, and obviously I also know like what I would consider the jazz classics from Light as a Feather, so like 500 Miles High, Captain Marvel, and Spain. They're all songs that I've played. But when you hear the actual band Return to Forever and the fusion style stuff, like, okay, I get it. Like, I really get it. And it's like that amazing organized chaos, and it's funky and it's raw, and that is very much what we're about. We love that. And people have said weather report as well. So I'm wondering if maybe, because we're definitely into weather report, and perhaps that has been more of a direct influence. But as I said before, like Adam Holtzman, because he's definitely got a bit of that in his playing as well. And of course, he was part of that fusion scene. He played with Miles Davis. So I don't know. You know, they're kind of all responsible, and I think just through osmosis, that DNA has just kind of come through into my playing. But I'm just grateful that you guys have tuned into it. And so many, like after gigs, people will come up to us and go, oh, I heard a bit of this, I heard a bit of this, getting a bit of the Canterbury scene, getting Caravan, you know, so I'm listening. But also I'm just glad that people hear things, and it's bringing back perhaps a memory, and it's evoking a bit of nostalgia for people as well. So that's really touching for me. So if anyone does have any questions, I've got a few more things to say, but please, if you've got questions, please put them in the comments. This video will go out on the profile as well, so I'll be keeping an eye on it and we'll answer any questions as they appear. So finally, you may notice it's such a, you know, product placement. You may notice that I have donned my own merchandise for this video, and this is one of the t-shirt designs by our amazing artwork team, Alex and James, and a few of you have been asking about CDs as well. So all of the merch, including clothing, vinyl, CDs, it's all available on our store. We still have our Bandcamp page as well, but we recently moved over to Shopify because in terms of the shipping process, it just takes me half the time, and it means we can have all our clothing in the same place as well, and it just streamlined it so much, and it's so much easier. And you can leave a review, and people have been leaving reviews, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put the link in the comments. Okay, hopefully that will work. Just checking that it's going to go. Yeah, so that's the link to our store, and you can find everything there. You can find your t-shirts. We do have hoodies as well, I forgot to say. Yeah, we've got two hoodie designs. We've got 3 t-shirt designs. I love them. They're all great. So if you fancy getting your hands on either the clothing or our albums, it's all available on the store. So that kind of concludes all of my updates for this week. Apologies to anyone that was expecting a bit of the live gig footage from a prog day in May. I think I was a little bit presumptuous that I was going to get that. There were a lot of bands on that day, so it's a tall order for me to expect my footage to come so quickly. So but hopefully we will be getting that very soon. I'm so excited because it looks so great. We had such a good day, and it was so lovely to meet. If some of you saw us there, it was so lovely to meet you. If you came to see us and have a chat with us after the show as well. So yeah, hopefully we will see as many of you at our Pizza Express show in Soho on the 20th of July. I would really love to sell that show. Please get your tickets. Link is in the comments. And oh, hi Mike. It's funny you just came in literally as I was saying about Frog Day in May. So Mike is responsible for quite a few of the photos that have been going around. So thank you so much for those. They are so lovely. But yes, please don't forget to give us a follow. It helps us so much. And please like this video. And thanks so much for tuning in. And I will see you all next Thursday. See you later. Bye.